Yes, sorry. Muted.
You go live now.
All right. All right, then. Gosh, Stuart. Time passes, shows move on, and all of a sudden we have another new show. My goodness. Do you remember one show and we did stuff the rest of the year?
Yep.
That was our life at one point. And then they made like a show every single week, pretty much. And it was like, I guess we know what we're doing every single Friday night and Thursday afternoon of our lives.
Pretty much, yeah. Seems like.
I mean, it gives us structure. In fairness to the pandemic and to post-pandemic, it's like we know what we're doing, but boy, we have low decks now. It's resetting, and then Picard, and Stranger Worlds again. Then
then Discovery probably. Well, Stranger. I don't know when that's gonna be.
It must be Stranger Worlds. They finished film before Discovery, because then have Discovery after that, then low decks, and then who the hell knows what next season of whatever. Oh my god. Maybe give us a full 20 Prodigy in a row one time. Maybe just a thought. Don't give us 10. Pause like 7 months and give another 10. You know.
Yeah, that would be a good thought.
It's not the worst thing in the world. Not making Prodigy be the worst thing in the world. But maybe release them a bit more condensed. One back. Yeah.
We'll see how season 2 goes.
Yes. Well, speaking of, you've been playing the game. How would you now review the game? The Prodigy official game, which does link to seasons 1 and 2, or at least all of season 1, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's like some cool reveals in it. Nothing major, but some interesting little tidbits.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've played the whole thing through now. I got to go replay it now that I got all the characters unlocked, so I can actually unlock all the doors and get all the special little collectibles and stuff.
Cool.
But it's really fun.
Okay.
And the voice acting is fairly good from everybody except for Dreadnought and
same voiceover person.
And Zero, yeah, they're the same, but they just don't sound quite right. Everybody else is great though. My only real complaint is it's a little bit repetitive, and the puzzles are kind of annoying at times. I would have preferred some kind of vehicle sequences, maybe driving like a ground vehicle, or
which they have,
being able to actually
all the
fly
shows.
the Protostar. I know.
Yeah.
Or being able to actually fly the Protostar instead of just Gwen and Dow running around. But other than that, it's very good story, and I think it's very well done.
And Stuart's quite picky. So that's a better review than you get from other places.
And 2 other small little gripes.
Oh, yeah.
The opening animation sequence and the closing animation sequence are done comic book style, which I did not appreciate. This should have been CG in my opinion. And some of the graphics on the ship, at least on the version I have on the PS4, were a little bit wonky as far as it was all pixelated, and then you move closer to it, and then it like cleared right up. And I wish you could explore the ship more.
Yeah, draw
there's
distance.
The bridge.
Yeah,
there's the bridge. There's a room that has all of like a lot of your collectible animals and plants and stuff. There's Dal's quarters, which has all the other collectibles, and then there is the holodeck, which you can do training missions and learn new abilities and stuff in there. So
you don't get the cheeky Enterprise D bridge inside the Protostar for a Kobayashi Maru simulator.
No, can't get that.
Because that would have been a cool meta joke to have an Enterprise D inside of a Protostar.
Yeah.
So we're not going to give you the corridors. We're going to give you the Enterprise D bridge. What?
Yeah.
And they could just, I mean, in theory, they could have imported the model of, like, the Connie bridge from Bridge Crew if they managed to, like... You know what I mean? There are bridges that exist. That'd be kind of cool.
And Heron Walkie's like, but at least you got the stuffed Janeway salamander. Yes, I did. I got that last night. I finished the game up. It was only like half an hour, 27 minutes to finish the last little part. And I'm like, I'm going to try level 1 again to unlock the collectibles. And unlock the plushy salamander, which was kind of funny. But to be fair, they kind of screw you on the game because you have to go through and replay it, because you got to save all your crew members during the game. Right. That's the objective, to free everybody. But certain crew members, Jank and Pog, can open certain doors. Murph can get under certain doors, and Rock can blast through certain doors. But you can't open those doors on your first playthrough because you don't have those characters unlocked.
I mean, it sounds just like a Lego game. In fairness, a lot of things you said there.
Yeah, a lot of people said that.
The annoying puzzles that are just like, is this for a kids game? And replayability. I mean, that sounds great, and I mean, I'd like to think of even more DLC. I mean, I assume the Diviner's not in it, but you could holodeck it. I mean, there's as soon as you put a holodeck in, you can do more stuff.
Well, interesting thing about the Diviner,
Hmm.
they all assume he's dead. Everybody on the Protostar assumes he's dead.
They did leave him to starve to death with no food, so that would be a fair assumption.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because it is a canon...
We were wondering, like, did they leave him on the holodeck? Did they leave him somewhere else?
Not on the ship, I guess. That's
Gonna
confirmed.
live? So yeah, it's clarified that they assume he's dead.
That's a weird assumption, because he wasn't dead.
Yeah.
But no, we started to play it. I'm sure when we get into Prodigy Seasons 1.5, I'll be like, oh, I've got to play it now. Like, I can watch Prodigy, and then play Prodigy, and then watch Prodigy. That'd be kind of a unique...
The funny thing is, I played it in the lead up to the new season coming up tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, cool, I got it finished on time. I know the whole storyline of the game. Yeah. Awesome. But the graphics are like, PlayStation almost 2 graphics. They aren't super great. Especially like some of the cutscenes are a little bit, all right.
I mean, it is a children's-ish game. It's surprisingly a full-price game, which is a bit odd. But I still willingly paid that to support them to make more games.
It's 8.5 hours of gameplay at least.
That's fine. Yeah.
So yeah, but I was just saying, like, so I got used to playing it and seeing those, and I was like, oh, Prodigy. Then I watched like 4 episodes today as kind of a refresher for this recap, and I'm like, this show is so beautifully done. So beautifully made, and I'm looking forward to getting back into it because it's just the music is on point.
The music is the best music out of all the 5 shows. I've listened to that score while doing fan film writing. It is the best of the 5. Low Days is pretty good, but it's not as creative. I think Prodigy is beautiful.
Yeah, and every picture, almost every scene is like a painting. Like, it's just so beautifully done. This show. Yeah. So, and the writing is so good and so complicated, like the interwoven story. It's amazing to me that it's a kids show, because kids won't get it.
And we've done deep dive retrospectives on all of them, and that was the only one of the 5 shows that the retrospective was truly we gained more second time round, because the clues you can't possibly get without temporal logic, and so it's such a rewarding second watch. And that's not really a case of Lower Decks. It's fun, but they're more mini.
And there are a lot of breadcrumbs scattered throughout that if you could put it together, you can kind of roughly come up with a timeline as to what the hell is going on, which will hopefully be revealed at some point.
Well, one of the funnest videos we ever did, for me at least, was what the hell, it's during TNG. What the absolute frick? That curveball. And I had to find all the dates, and then we didn't have an argument, but I gave you dates, and you were like, doesn't make sense. And I was like, I know, but that means you don't... Yeah, it's the sort of show that you pretty much don't feel like they're going to make canon errors, and so anytime they do a weird shit like that, it's like, oh,
yeah,
that'll be a curveball, which is unusual for a show like this.
Yeah, and there's subtle little hints in there, especially with the music, as to the Kelvin timeline JJ-ness of it. There's very clear JJ music hints, and as you said, the Protostar looks very Kelvin-y and stuff like that, so it's just kind of a weird thing, It's canon tied with little hints of Kelvin.
I mean, the Protostar could easily be a Kelvin scout ship. You wouldn't have thought twice. The interiors are a bit weird.
Aaron Walkie says...
he has 2 things. Read the first one first.
That aspect isn't canon. Not sure where that came from in the video game.
He's referring to the Diviner being assumed dead.
Oh, wow.
And then he responds in more detail, because we'd take that as canon if you said...
He says, the Kenned Diviner is Starfleet protocol, left him in a place to live his life. Tars Lamora had oxygen supplies to run without the Rev 12 there, as seen in episode 104, when it leaves to chase Protostar, which I just watched those last 2 episodes. And he does indeed have his suit, despite speculation. He just took it off to draw because he was feeling Medusan mad.
He just took it off while being sane because lols. Right. That's because thematically he had to be naked in terms of his power levels so the scene would play out.
And Aaron, I don't know if you got the script for the game or if you helped write it or
Clearly
if you've
not.
played it. We may have had an early release of it or something, but yeah, they definitely say a few times, "I thought he was dead." Da 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 da, and I'm like, okay, well, because we were very confused as to where he was left and what his state would be. So I can't believe they just left him there to die.
Because the big question, and this is how I put him in the thumbnail, you don't kill, and by kill I mean reduce to a non-effective threat, your primary villain by episode 10 of 40. You don't do that. Not just that, but he's the guy who's been chasing the Protostar. He's the guy who cloned his daughter. He's everything. So he's obviously not out of the game, and your game, the game of the story. But to put him in this specific box of now he's mad in what situation is a really weird place to be. Because either, he is legitimately going to starve to death because no food, he's too mad, or they could meet up with a diviner from the past or future or present. The diviner did move from somewhere to somewhere. And so, certainly it would be an amazing reveal to have a future diviner, as a diviner from the future, meet up them beforehand. There's time things you can play with it.
First, okay, Jasper Jedi says, wait, 10 of 40, not 20? No, there's 40 there's 40 planned. That's seasons 1 and 2. 20 episodes per season. So yes, Jasper Jedi, it is 10 of 40. And Aaron says, I've watched playthroughs and it's sort of done separately by a different department, which is interesting.
Yes, lead writer should help write the spin-off. Let's not let the lead writer even read the script. Good plan, guys. Why is Dal suddenly a vegan? Do we have to write that to our story? Shit.
He got the space seed protocol. I love that. That's good.
That's good. That's fine. It's true. But I guess with that, though, they left him with his own ship. And the ship would have had basic supplies. Right, rations.
They would have left him with a ship. That's just a stupid idea.
No, I mean his ship. They left the Botany Bay because it's the Botany Bay cargo containers. So they tracked the containers, left them that as a refuge, and I'm assuming the ship had basic meals ready to eat that I guess lasted 300 years.
Well, there's no way the Botany Bay would be able to launch off the planet again anyway.
No, exactly.
So yeah.
And then they foraged, and then the planet went something kablooey, and then I'm gonna do a poll because just what you guys think. Start a poll.
Yeah, well, while you're doing that, I'll read the super chats here. Ozzy Maderos, $2. Let's do the Murph Maneuver 2.0. I think we're going to see a change in Murph. We've kind of already seen. He didn't do a good job of hiding that. Mark Lawrence, $10. I'm still spreading the word about Samuel's new Indiegogo. A lot of people. Please.
Stuart, your thing died. Sorry, you can say it again. Sorry, you lost.
No.
I know it's self-serving.
It didn't die. You just want me to say it again.
I'm sorry, but please.
Anyway, Mark says, I'm still spreading the word about Samuel's new Indiegogo. A lot of people still haven't heard. Gotta get those monies.
Yes.
So, yes.
All of the true.
Aaron goes on to say Tars Lamora is a place the diviner created and lived for decades as his de facto home. They basically put him under house arrest. With no way of escape, would be my assumption, yeah.
Although Tars Lamora is a prison camp that he created to enslave people. The
no,
ship
it's a mining facility.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's the same thing, in essence. I don't think he put a separate sex pad in the mining bit. He lived on a ship, surely.
So they left him on his little plot of... They left him on his little plot of land in the trailer park and drove the trailer away.
Yes.
So he's on his land, but no trailer.
Yep. I mean, it's all fine. Thank you, Philip Gaming. That is so fantastic.
And Philip Gaming, he's the one that's going to be in Picard Season 3. He was in a scene.
Well, that's kind of quirky.
Yeah, so I just wanted to let you know that. And Aaron Walkie says, it's outfitted to house and feed hundreds. He's just one guy. He'll be fine with those MRIs.
That's true. I guess we're assuming all the prisoners left, and then they took the ship. So, yeah, I guess...
Meals ready to eat, yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, with MRI machines. Great, thanks.
A lot of MRI machines. That's healthy.
But the question is, how mad is he? Because you can be so mad you can't feed yourself. which is
Well,
kind
he
of
got a good eyeful of Zero as a Medusan, so
because certainly the vibe was that he was so mad he couldn't function. But I would imagine that they could easily retcon like the effect. And I'm not, I mean, they haven't set up, so it's not a retcon. But they could say that he gets less effect every day, and so by like day 7, where his species would start to be like less functioning, he can process information and say, "Oh, I do need to eat." He finds the food, and then he gets better.
yeah,
Would be my assumption.
yeah. SES Guru 2000 throws in €10. I should be more excited than I am. Not sure why, but I think it's because of this weird decision to split the shows up into 5-episode chunks with a long time between them. Yeah, whoever is responsible for that hasn't done the show any favors, because yeah, it was 5, then a break, then 5, then a huge break. I don't know if they're going to break up the next 10. I hope they don't. But it kind of it's dropped it off a lot of people's radars. They forget about it.
It helped though. It was such a good 5 and such a good 5. Because if it weren't,
yeah,
like that, I don't know if it's intentional, but to have 5 and a distinct, hook and another distinct hook was so well crafted.
With a 40-episode plan going in, it's going to be good, and it's all interconnected and woven through. So it's good to have that plan of 40 episodes. You know exactly what you're doing, as opposed to scrambling last minute to like, what do we do next episode?
And my
Ryan
God,
Johnson.
Could you imagine if they commission another 40? And we're like, well, at some point we've got to get the kids in Starfleet, and now it's just a Starfleet show, but we've had like so many production, lead-in. Goodness.
An exclusive. Aaron says the 10 are dropping consecutively, so no break this time.
I think they did probably announce that because they'd have to, because it's the other show. But
I'm pretending into this.
Yes, and they announced the titles. I think episode 2 is the Borg one, which is very bold. But I mean, the nice thing about this show is that it's a very reactionary show, because unlike the Lower Decks, where they've done a kind of fun, the repetition of Captain's Log, and it's a reset to a mission. This show, I'm sure episode 1 is going to go bad. Episode 11 is going to go bad. And then they have to jump somewhere. Oh shit, we're in the deep Delta Quadrant. Now there's a Borg cube there. Oh no. And that would be talk about a sting to end part 1, etc. Whatever. Or some such would be pretty exceptional. Especially if we've gone way less Delta than we started. And so if we're going to see Starfleet, which they've shown we are in the first episode, then all the way back to the Delta Quadrant would be very, very ballsy. Where the hell's Chakotay? I still don't know.
And when does he come in? I know he's in the second part. So
he's in a flashback. We know that, or sort of flashback. But that's great. But on real Chakotay, although what if he's like gruff, been in the past 10 years? He's all like, like I want, no offense, I want clean cut professional Chakotay that he's earned after 7 years of Voyager plus a few years. Yeah,
I think he will be.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Well, if he's 5 or 7 years Delta Quadrant and still maintain the sleek appearance, 6 years in Delta again isn't going to affect him or whatever.
Grant McGregor throws in $5.
Kind
of sucks that Hollow Janeway wasn't trying to trick the kids to taking the ship back to Starfleet at their own free will. Dark, but interesting. Well, as she said in the second last episode, episode number 9, she said, "You may not be Starfleet, but you're still my crew, and it's my job to help you." Actually, that was episode 8. Sorry, because I just watched the last few episodes and bits and pieces of the first few episodes to kind of get a refresher. And man, I miss this show. It is so well done. It's so good to look at.
I have a brief question to Aaron in the chat, who knows what he's talking about. Because Janeway, we kind of assumed from the first episode was knowing these kids weren't obviously cadets, because they obviously weren't cadets, showing she wasn't a very smart hologram, but then to choose the crew over the protocol, which is, yes, to protect them, but you would think Starfleet protocol would override, look after these, they've stole the ship. Is that sort of vaguely the intention to EMH Janeway? Because then once you get to 40, 60, 80 episodes, are we going full sentient hologram vibe? Because if she's already going against the logically get it back to Starfleet vibe, and also you'd think that hologram Janeway would not want to fight real Janeway, because real Janeway is probably going to be right. you know, are we going that way? Is it sort of going to be a character EMH like? In which case Janeway will then, she then might, you know, well, I mean, she can have an adventure with the EMH in like 6,000 years time. Hollow Janeway and Hollow Doctor. You know, what was his name? Stu? Yeah, was his name Stu? No.
Joe, I think.
Yeah, Joe. Joe and Kate. That was Kate Mulgrew. No, yeah, Catherine Janeway. Yeah, Joe and Kate.
He says her program was damaged or muddled by soul encoding, but her program is evolving.
Great answer.
Plus, Gwen gave her a really big upgrade on the last episode. She's tactile now; she can touch people
and beat them up,
and
rip their
and can't be affected. Can't be affected by the Diviner's programming.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I mean, every bit of damage to the ship was going to affect him. Yeah, and God, yeah.
I want to see a Janeway versus Janeway fight with the classic Trek music. Dun, 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 dun,
you can't touch me. You don't think I can? Yes.
Well, she was also damaged from the crash. Yeah.
No, that's all fair. Yeah, it makes sense. Because I mean, that was one of the best moments of like, wait, what? When the whole ship's going, and it's like, oh no, there's been code here the entire time.
We went from she knows that she's clever, she knows they're not cadets, she's kind of playing along, to she's really stupid, to oh, she's smart again. Yes. Kind of going back and forth with that.
I mean, it's also the story dependent. That's also practical reality.
And SVS Guru 2000 throws in another €5. Thank you.
Oh, there we go.
I still don't know if Hollow Janeway actually thinks they are Starfleet cadets, or if she knows that they're just random kids and just plays along. Well, she knows, because in the episode, episode 8, I think, they say we're not cadets. We stole the ship, and she's kind of shocked. And so she knows. She knows at this point.
And in fairness, though, after a certain point, you
can tell whether they're good people or not at this point, and she knows that they're not.
Yeah.
You know, vindictive.
But we know. I say no because the line of know versus infer is, but I think we know that the fact that the Dreadnought was on the ship, did control the ship, had access to the ship, which means the Diviner did. So Janeway herself is a training program. So you wouldn't think that would be a thing needed for the ship to fly. But, the caveat being, if you've found the ship in the past, was it early? Well, no, because they hadn't gone through time. At some point they find the ship, so we know they find the ship, and then they infected the code. I could see the logic that they would ask for the computer's help program to help them fly the ship. So that's why Hollow Janeway has been an innate part of the ship, and gets corrupted from day one, and therefore she was changed to trust these two people, clearly not Starfleet, anyone, which means that when the new people come board, the program, the let's check them out, are they real cadets, was deleted, a la EMH cutting up Seven's head because ethical programs are gone. So I could imagine like them actively swapping to being we want control of the ship means she's now fully susceptible to anybody saying hello, and not being the same level of, well, you're not Starfleet, or even humans.
Well, Dan, they did steal it because it wasn't theirs. Yes, they found it and they used it to escape, but it's technically stealing. And
they could have gone back to Starfleet at any point to return it, and they haven't yet. So
yeah. Erin Waltke says she has algorithms and subroutines as a training hologram that would still probably want to take care of the kids and help them to Starfleet. Yes.
Which is the problem. Because of that darn kill Starfleet mentality, the Diviner. God, wasn't that city a beautiful CG? Whatever the planet.
Solon?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
God, I really hope.
Apparently, First Contact really screwed them up because 50 years later, it was just decimated. So something happened because he even says, this is before. It's 50 years ago. We were thriving. We were healthy when we thought we were the only ones in the universe. And then First Contact happened, so they aren't warp capable. I don't think. It could be an accidental First Contact, or it could be they were. Because if they're trying to achieve warp, they know that they're not the only, people in the galaxy.
And in fairness, we've now established in Strange New Worlds, not this would affect Prodigy necessarily, but you can first contact a warp bomb. So what if they're doing a warp engine but on the planet? Like a warp energy generator?
for power.
Yeah, maybe that tricked them to say, "Hey, let's go
Yeah.
talk to them," because they're in the Delta Quadrant. They've said that somewhere in the Delta Quadrant. So maybe there's a slightly different protocol because of the Borg threat and other problems. Like anyone in the Delta Quadrant, if you're warp able, but not necessarily traveling, then we can say hello. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, we don't know. Although clearly they had to be warp capable because he had a big ass ship. Yeah, I mean, they obviously were warp capable because they had the ship that could follow the protostar. You know, the Rev 12. Yeah, the same ship.
What, Rev 12? Yeah.
But they
It's Rev 13 in the game. There's another ship.
See,
Rev 13.
I know there's going to be more revs. Like, you don't name it 12 without more revs. Not that I want this.
It was unlucky 13 because it was crashed.
Yeah, oh, nice. Oh, that's nice. Not that I want them to do this, but they could do the control scene from Discovery where there's like 11 revs around them. Like, ha-ha! And we've got 12 diviners. We're clones. All of our armor's slightly different colours.
Well, no. There wouldn't be because the diviner created Gwen because he didn't think he would live long enough to find the protostar.
But you don't know if he's...
Gwen to carry on his work.
I don't know if he's not a clone. Because the logic being maybe, like, if the Rev... Because the ship implies multiple. What if... And the robots imply multiple. Maybe you would clone the dude. Because then you could send out lots of the same mission. Does that make sense? Because if he has cloning, because the fact that they have cloning tech and their species can be cloned, tells me that
he got the protostar released a distress call. The distress call was near Tars Lamora. That's why the diviner went there to establish the mining facility as a cover to find the protostar. So that means all the other clones are really stupid because they didn't detect the signal.
Well, but I mean, if they came back in time, they could be anywhere in the quadrant, any time in the quadrant. They could be a Rev 3 with Dreadnought 6 and Diviner 2 in 1840. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got an answer from Aaron. He says they have warp tech. They are using as power. See, but they think they are alone in the universe, so aren't as interested.
I called that. Hey, I called that. Which is fun.
That's cool.
And also, if that, I say, is that true? He wrote it, but but that's a unique selling point because the diviner comes in with such venom, but having a species that actively had the ability to but chose not to warp and do things implies a lack of warness as well because war is fought on resources. So if they are out, if they're not wanting to go out, they don't want the resources. They're probably more chill, and the planet was beautiful. So that's a more interesting story. You turn a friendly, happy-go-lucky species into this monster. That's a story in itself. And
you destroy everybody except the one guy, and he wants revenge.
Well, but they did this themselves though, via Starfleet's influence.
It's a direct result of Starfleet showing up.
Yeah, I'm saying without that, they would have I like that they were nice, but then situation screwed them up. Is interesting.
And Aaron says the signal was masked by the Chimerium cave, so it was very weak, winky face, which I think the winky face implies that there could be more clones of the diviner. They just were too far away to detect the very weak signal.
You got that for a winky face out of context. Okay.
I did.
I just thought, cloning tech's quite rare in Star Trek, and it was effortless to make a clone, so I just thought, Plus, if you want to be very meta, the
fact not really a clone though.
Well, but they didn't breed. She was made with genetics based on his DNA.
But that's not cloning because cloning is an exact replica.
Well, yeah, sure, but it's it's the same. Okay, fine, but fine. They all have different faces, but they're basically the same guy. I don't know. And also, you can't lose John Noble because he's great. Did a very, very good job with
Yes.
And SVS Guru, still they should still be interested in clones of the worlds, unless they don't want to. I mean, that's the thing.
They're happy where they are. They just...
If the story is they're the anomaly, that's interesting. They're not following the pattern of other things. I haven't shared this yet, so I'm going to see in a minute. So having such a good debate.
Where are you going?
Going to share it. I haven't shared yet because we're having such a good debate.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to read. Okay, when you come back, I'll read Aaron. Well, he's not comment. Go share. So, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. We got 23 likes with 40 people watching. Aaron, I don't know if you've hit like, but hit like. Everybody else, hit like. Thank you for joining us, by the way, Aaron. I know you're busy, but thank you for snooping in on us, seeing what we've put together, and watching how silly we are because we got it all wrong. But hit that like button, guys. And also, if you want to help us on a monthly basis, you can join the channel. There's a join button down there. I see that Aaron is not a member of the channel. I see how it is. But anyway, if you got a bunch of other members, there's different ranks, there's different support tiers for monthly donations, or you can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards and help us there as well. Also, check out the links down below. We got some really cool Trekyards merch in the stores, which I promised I'd send Aaron, and I haven't yet. Aaron, you still have some Trekyards t-shirts coming to you. I just got to get those done. So help us out in those ways as well. And look, Samuel's back. So we'll read Grant McGregor's super chat, and then we'll read Aaron's message. So Grant McGregor is $5. Prodigy is my favorite of the 3 Trek shows. I like Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds, the other 2.
Cool.
Yeah. And Grant is the one that's going to give us a $250 super chat if he's not right about his theory for the last episode of Lower Decks this season.
We're going to be right there.
I think I forgot, but I didn't. Aaron Wolke says, indeed, the Civil War was one of ideology, specifically those who want to join the Federation and its ideals, and those who don't. Ideas can be very dangerous things in the eyes of some. Yeah.
Especially if you've got a race that's happy where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the Baku and the Sona, that weren't a good time because of that. Aaron, though, I've got a pointed question. Do you think anytime soon, well, I should say, have you recently seen the Protostar at Deep Space Nine? Might that appear in some form somewhere soon? I'm throwing it out this. We just saw it in Lower Deck. So are we gonna see the Protostar at Deep Space Nine? Have you seen that recently, Aaron?
I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm sorry. You probably can't answer that even if he has seen it.
I think you need to answer and be honest if you've seen it at DS9 recently. Because that might be episode 30 or 40. Who knows, yeah?
Yeah, you saw a fan done one, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting. Like, this is such a well-crafted story, and it's so intricately laid out over 40 episodes that, again, it's almost too complex for new Trek. And I think they're doing a really good job. And to call it a kids show and slap that label on it, kids aren't going to get all this. I mean, probably after all the episodes are done and they got it all tied together, then yeah. But it's fun going through and watching this. I see, yeah, Aaron says, those are questions I cannot answer. Yeah, maybe a fan-done version. So, told you.
I was trying to catch him out there with a...
That's not nice. Don't do that. Speaking of, we'll have a interview with Aaron on Sunday coming out, hopefully. That's the plan. That's from after the first 10 episodes. So you guys will have that to look forward to this weekend.
Yeah, we obviously couldn't talk about the second 10 because they hadn't come out yet. But first 10, yes, we have some deets. And we had, if I remember correctly, some pretty interesting debate level questions and comments. It was lively.
It was, yes.
It was good. That was a fun time.
Aaron's a great guy, so.
Yes.
General Grievous, $5. First contact with the Diviners species seemed to tear their society apart like a distant origin theory did for the Voth. It challenged their beliefs. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But that was more of a religious ideology from the Voth. Like, they didn't, the whole ancient origins thing was a little bit different, I think. But yes, it's the same effect, same cause and effect. So
I mean, they were 100% sure they're wrong.
Yeah, well, most people. There's a few that are like, yeah, it could be the case. Well,
yeah.
Mr. Scientist Man.
Yeah, that's a great episode. I wish they did more with the Voth.
It's great. Yeah.
It's rare you can invent an insanely powerful something and be a payoff, like it works. But that ship was insane, and the transwarp was insane. They went from wherever they were to wherever they were, like in a day. It was fantastic.
And dinosaurs, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Although it reminds me for some reason of the it's because they walk on the ship, don't they, and they like out of phase or something. It reminds me of the one where we see the people who are temporarily out of phase, and like go on the ship and then they're astronauts, and just such a good episode.
And Aaron Walkie says, "Love the Voth," with an exclamation point, which to me indicates that the Voth are going to be in the second half of season 1. They're going to show up and save them from the Borg. I know things.
Well, first, a single exclamation mark is a theory. 2 is a confirmed. So you didn't quite get it confirmed. But the thing is, the Protostar is so technologically advanced FTL-wise that I could imagine, and this might be a later thematic thing, but just like how warp drive somebody notices, and could you imagine then if this ship, which is so far beyond transwarp, that once they FTL somewhere via warp drive, well, I guess that was more advanced, but maybe some race will be like, hey, you've now discovered proto-warp. That's my first contact with you, and they're like, huh? What? We make first contact with people. And so the Voth could be a way of doing it. You know, you've proven your advancement, we'll say hello. Which would be very meta to have like a topper tier species, but it couldn't be energy beings or something that high, because that'd be a bit too much, and that'd be a weird story to go on, but it could be interesting.
It could be good, yeah. No, I think it's a fantastic, fertile storytelling ground.
Yeah. Especially as there's no humans on board. No. So.
Of the Voth?
No, I just mean on the Protostar. There's no human crew, so it's not even this. Oh damn, humans?
Not yet.
Gross.
We'll see if Akuna sticks around or Chakotay when they find Chakotay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you assume he'd take command again. He's the captain.
His ship,
captain. It's his ship.
Oh, well, you assume he'd have like a computer override safety protocol. No, override command pathways. Like, I was the captain. Let me be a captain again, please. Override. Chakotay 1, Alpha 1. Give me command. But yeah.
SVS Guru 2000, €5. If the show decided to have one of the kids assimilated when they encounter the Borg, who would be assimilated for maximum drama? An evolved Murph. Assimilate Murph.
And did you like I used Murph again for the thumbnail like I used to do?
Yeah, I know.
Cheeky little Murph.
I noticed it.
I think Rock Talk would be more powerful because how the hell? But also...
That's the first one I thought of, yeah. Or Jankum Pog's already half machine. He can change his hand into a hammer and stuff. So.
Yeah, but he'd argue the nanoprobe's out, so it wouldn't quite work. But I think Rock Talk would be super interesting because it'd be. I mean, that would be a weird thing to play, obviously, but there's no reason to think the Borg haven't discovered their species before, and they can assimilate almost anything.
They should assimilate Zero, and then all go mad, because madness spreads through the collective, and they become an even bigger threat, because they're all, like, crazy.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't think you can assimilate a non-corporeal species, though.
But wouldn't you think they would develop that? I mean, the Borg have trillions of individual things running at the same time. Why wouldn't
it would be like the next part of their evolution to try to do that? Sure.
Especially with things like the guys from TOS. I mean, so many alien creatures. It makes sense. It might be very difficult, but it'd be kind of fun if they ever did a Borg situation where what if the entire collective said, we are going to do this one task? How quick could they calculate one insane thing by disseminating through the collective?
Not quickly, because the Omega particle would have been proof of that. They didn't even see the Omega particle or know about it until... Well, they knew about it. It was like a god to them. Yeah. And they would have had all the resources looking for it. And... look how that turned out. So, but no, you think they'd be able to single-mindedly, if you will, focus on something and get it done fairly quickly.
But I feel like when you get so big a collective, the sharing information would be so much. You know, I have so big files for my films that just moving them from hard drives. Like one file can take 30 minutes. That's such a big file. So then now looking at that over the course of,
And Aaron says there is a very interesting age-old canon question that we played with in that episode. Can't wait for you to see it. Which episode? The Borg episode. Anyway, Graham McGregor, $5. My one question is for the expert in chat. What's the Kobayashi Maru sim level 3? I'm told I've been wrong, but if I'm right, that would be a funny joke. Well, that was for Aaron, so we're just going to sit back now. Our job's done for now.
Also, I did make a joke about the Kobayashi Maru in a film I'm releasing next. I forgot I did, but it's in the next film.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Borg adapt and Borg try to assimilate everything. These things we know.
I mean,
okay.
I don't know if you saw our review on them, but the Borg look fantastic for the new trailer.
Yep.
Bit too leathery. That's just.
I like Hammerhead guy.
Yeah, everyone likes Hammerhead guy.
Or Heatsink guy, as somebody called him.
Definitely too leathery. Like they look like bodysuits versus like this really intricate thing. But the Borg, by definition, their tech is very, like the first content is hard to replicate. There's so many things, and they just clearly don't want to do the same detail, which is fine. I mean, Lower Decks just sort of is like a black with lights, and that's fine.
Well, look at Future Borg guy from was it Voyager?
Yeah, look at
his suit was very sleek. Their suits and stuff would be evolving as well the whole time. So
yeah, but just the fabric. Like the Borg, you don't know what the thing's made out of, but like hardcore biker leather. Well, this is a texture choice, you know.
And Aaron says, I like to think he kept adjusting the settings, so one of those could have been level 3. Yeah, I would assume he would be adjusting the difficulty levels for sure.
Is there though for the Maru? I kind of think
it's first I'm hearing of it, so
I kind of feel like it would just be a flat program, like it's like locked.
That's it would evolve with your decisions, so nothing you do will make a difference because it's going to counter it in some way.
But I mean, the mission parameter, like there's obviously different eras of them, but like you can't tweak it because imagine if you said, yeah, computer level 1, make it easy, and you won, there's no.
That defeats the purpose.
Exactly.
Of Kobayashi now, doesn't it?
I mean, I still have yet to make a joke about this, and we've talked about ad nauseum. People obviously you can't keep a secret of it being the top. You know, every cadet for every year isn't genuinely experiencing it for the first time, not knowing that it's a death. You know, life or death, you can't win scenario. They all know, and as soon as one rumor gets out, no one's going to treat it the same way. As soon as you think I cannot win, there's no effect.
Detach the saucer section and whip it into the ships.
Yeah, you know.
We kind of had that when we did our How Would We Deal with the Kobayashi Maru live, and I got really frustrated because it's like, didn't go as I planned.
Exactly, it's always going to fight back. There's always going to be a new way, which I love the mechanics of nope.
I think you still have to stay within Starfleet regulations. You have to prove what you've learned in command and follow the regulations of Starfleet during this. You can't do something stupid like sacrifice the entire secondary hull, like separate the saucer, have those secondary hull warp into another ship, like the Holdo maneuver. I'm sure that's not Starfleet, you know.
But I feel it depends who's monitoring it, as in who's the judge. Because if you show initiative, then
creative thinking.
Because if you can't win, then how do you try and not win with the style?
But if you go in knowing you can't win, you're going to go for the most off-the-wall options available.
Yeah, it's a video game then, which it is, obviously. But yeah, it's a tricky one. They don't give a clear answer, as if they didn't expect there to be a Star Trek 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, spin-off game, available now on Steam.
And Aaron Wolke said, I definitely wrote about 12 other tactics for Del tried that we had to cut out for time. Ooh, I'd be interested in hearing about those. That's funny.
So just do the Kobayashi Maru cut. Just animate those. Just make a full feature-length episode just for us fans. A web episode just all of the ways. God,
yeah, Matt.
You kid in your candy store. Jesus Christ. Oh, I just invented 12 ways that Kobayashi Maru could end. Jesus Christ. Lucky man.
Matt, I haven't seen that yet. The video about the animated announcements with the names of the episodes.
Oh, do you want me to find it and tell you?
Well, yeah, send it to me. I'll watch it later.
Okay.
Aaron goes on to say, one of them was saucer separation. One was trying to slingshot the Maru with a tractor beam. What? I think we tried that too. One was trying to negotiate Ferengi style with the Klingons. That's funny. Kirk didn't win it, Ozzy. He cheated, so that's not winning.
I mean, if you win a hand of poker, doesn't matter if you cheat or not, you still won the hand.
Unless they know you're cheating.
That's
and
not
then
what you
kill
said, though. That's catching you cheating. That's not the same thing as you still win.
But they knew
Either way, you win the hand. Either way,
they
you
did
won.
catch him. They knew that he reprogrammed it, so he got a commendation for original
Exactly,
thinking.
but you still win the hand. You still win the maru via cheating, but you'd still win it. That does not remove the winning. Yeah.
You can't reprogram real life, so he didn't win.
Well, he did. He fought Khan and he did all that stuff. That's
Oh
the
my
point,
God.
Stuart. He did.
Shut up. General Grievous, $2. Aaron, tell them I'm alive and I'll visit you soon. General Grievous is our token dreadnought here, so is very similar. I mean, your name now is System Slayer, by the way, because of the Prodigy game. At least Dreadnought 2, because that's a stupid name, so they renamed him to System Slayer. But
okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I suppose this thing was everywhere on the Twitter, but now it's like old news after being 1 day old.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Guys, hit that like button. We're still at 50. Let's get 50. We have 36 people watching. Hit that like button if you haven't. And sorry, can't talk about later episodes. I know you can't, Aaron. But yeah.
Well, I can tell you what they are, even if I can't find the video.
Some of the titles, yeah.
So, the official names, this is pretty rare to release all the names, for Part 3, as they're calling it Memory Alpha, or otherwise known as Season 1.5. No. Anyway. The first episode is Asylum, then Let Sleeping Borgs Lie, All the World's a Stage, Crossroads, Masquerade, Preludes to... No, just Preludes. Ghost in the Machine, Mind Warp, and Supernova, which is the name of the game. Parts 1 and 2.
Ooh, so I wonder if those are the link-ins with the game.
Which is interesting, because the first chunk ended in Moral Star, Parts 1 and 2. So we have 2 different star references back to back. So maybe they used a star to go back in time. Maybe.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean that, you know. Well, in fairness, that obviously they could.
Well, each one of those titles, I can speculate on what the episode might be about.
Oh fuck yeah!
But yeah, TXR Way, £5. Thank you. Not seen Prodigy yet, but would give it a go. Just watched last episode of Lower Decks. Love the battle with the Breen. Yes.
Oh.
See, oh, you're muted.
I thought he actually didn't last one. I was like, oh, what? He saw it before. Wow, sneak peek? No, okay.
The game takes place between episode 10 and 11. Oh.
Yep.
That's cool.
There are hints. Hints and hints.
So I've already lived the future. I also am time traveling as a game player.
Yeah, they didn't help write it, so it's a non-canon game that is non-canonly close but not fully right, so everything could be real but not real. Helpful. Real helpful there, guys.
And Dan Ben says there's a Star Trek Prodigy book in 2023 called Supernova. Maybe it's just the novelization of the game, because the game actually has a really good, interesting story. So,
well, it makes sense if you know you should tie all the stuff in together meaningfully, and if you're gonna then, lots of people play the game, but an entire demographic will see a book. Like they're not even the close to the demographic. So
a lot of people won't get the game.
So if it's an important story, then it should be told in some other medium. Yeah.
It's classic beta canon.
It's just hilarious because it's like, but it just came out. At least you're not doing J.J. Abrams. It's like, my game's canon. My comic's canon.
My comic is canon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, no, that didn't last long, did it?
And TXR Way throws in £2 and says, how can you see Prodigy in the UK?
I think
Don't look at me.
Yeah. I think Paramount Plus.
Apparently it's available on Friday or something, as somebody was saying earlier in the chat. So
Friday? Oh, for us,
for
yeah.
UK.
I think Paramount Plus. Because we've got it now. Finally.
Yeah. So I don't know the answer to that.
No. But no, fantastic episode titles. Really, really like, ooh, okay. Saying Sleeping Borg Lie, that's bold.
Well, Asylum is for Okuna. He's requesting asylum from what he thinks is Starfleet in terms
Oh,
of
you
the
think
kids, probably.
you think it's the first episode? That's a big first episode.
Could be. I don't know.
I would have thought it'd be in Masquerade, because then they could say he's masquerading as something else to get into a place. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to cram in the first episode, but we know he's in this. Well, we know he's in the snow planet, but that might not be the first episode. Or All the World's a Stage, where he's like acting. They're acting together. And Ghost of the Machines will be Dreadnought, surely. He's back!
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, this is supposed to be a recap of season. They escape, they stole the protostar, the diviner, time travel, wibbly wobbly stuff, and then Janeway back on the scene. There, recapped. It wasn't clickbait. Oh, I didn't read the poll yet, by the way. All right, poll. Go vote on that, guys, if you haven't already. Prodigy, is it a great Trek, good Trek, okay Trek? Wow, 48% says great Trek, good Trek at 30%, and oh, you probably didn't hear any of that, did you?
Sorry, who are you?
Exactly. So great Trek 48%, good Trek 30%, and okay Trek 22%, but no bad Trek option. So that's really kind of a skewed kind of.
Stuart, it's not bad Trek.
It's not.
So
I know that.
I'm not gonna add that.
But I want to see if anybody would have voted for it.
But it's not. I'm not. You know, there's one of you that votes because they can versus because they feel. Oh.
So Aaron says the game was overseen by the game company. We had one writer give some notes. So they scribbled some stuff down on a little piece of paper and said, "Here."
It doesn't feel like it's rushed by any means, but it definitely feels like they got it out quick.
Yeah. I think it might be Paramount Plus in the UK, but maybe Commander Hawkins can confirm. Yeah, Paramount Plus is in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And we know there's time travel shenanigans, because at one point the diviner says he's been searching for 17 years or something, and we know that on the holodeck he shows Solom today, as it is right now, and then 50 years in the future. So somebody goes 50 years in the future, I would assume the protostar, somehow, and makes first contact. He wants revenge, so he goes searching for the protostar, which I assume found a way to go back in time. So he had to as well. I don't know. Because somebody asked me, and they mentioned time travel quite a bit, and there's actually some split screens in the gameplay of Dal goes back in time while Gwen stays in the present.
Damn.
And they have to help each other with puzzles back in time and stuff. And so anyway, somebody asked, why do you think there's time travel in Prodigy? Because everything points to it.
Well, they tell us.
Yeah, and they tell us multiple times.
Flat out tell us. I mean, you can infer heavily, and then he just says at the end, that's the point of the last episode. It's like, oh no, well, shit. Yeah, because the ship has been there on the planet. Like, the ship has been out of. We don't know when the ship was launched. Like, we still don't actually know if Janeway, that's at the end, real Janeway, is actually from the present. Because it's very possible, and I fought for this at the start because they used the future combat. We've afterwards not told that's not the case, but it's fine. That Janeway could still be from like 10 years in the future, 5 years in the future, 2 years in the future. We don't know. Until you actually chat to Starfleet for realsies, which is, I think, the next episode, you won't actually know when. Because in essence, you have a third Janeway. You could have the at her desk Admiral Janeway, the Janeway that's from 2 years in the future, Janeway, who's come back in time to find the protostar, Janeway, trying to find the protostar that's also went back in time 17 years earlier, was stuck on the planet. Like, you could have multiple iterations of the same character doing 3 different versions and be totally fine. Or is the coincidence? Because this is if that truly is Jerry from today, What? Well, when was the Protostar launched? You really think the Protostar was launched and then found by Dahl and the crew exactly when it was launched in real time?
No.
A year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Well, why would Janeway still be doing whatever she's doing? You know, there's stuff there. There's stuff there.
Aaron says Starfleet makes first contact with Solum, but we never say it is the Protostar. That makes sense. As we find out in Voyager, there are deep space Starfleet vessels arriving in the Delta Quadrant in 2384.
You say that, Aaron, but
Here we go. Samuel arguing with our expert.
I'm not arguing. I'm suggesting what you're implying might be more true. Because you were saying, yeah, if they actually jump the Protostar to Solum, and the kids first contact by accident, you know, because they'll go after the Protostar.
That'd be interesting.
Aren't they?
That'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting.
That'd be interesting if the kids were the first contact.
Yep.
And everybody thinks it's
loop.
Starfleet because they're wearing Starfleet uniforms.
Because they've done it already once and it went real bad.
It's predestination paradox.
Or at least the start of a chain, yeah. Because then how else would they have scans of the Protostar and knowledge of it to chase it? Because you can just go to time travel around the sun. So you can imagine if they, you know, did get onto the ship. Oh, but then Chakotay found, but Dreadnought was attacking the ship when Chakotay was there. Yeah, it makes more sense that Chakotay found the planet. They said hello. You remember the sort of Stargate where Prometheus blew up its power cell in orbit? They did that. The Protocol Mark 1 got blown up, or something. Went back in time. So it's still the Protostar, just Protostar via Chakotay.
Yes. Gotta love time travel.
Yes.
I'm excited for the second half. My God.
And this is a big question I was going to say earlier. How much Starfleet are we going to see? Because we both love Starfleet design superbly. The idea of cutting away to another team is interesting, especially as they've cast pretty well-known people to be the voice actors for the Chakotay crew. Well, they shouldn't just be in one scene. You know, they should be meaningfully in the show. You know, and the lady's quite excited to be in the show. So you'd like to think there's a side story going, there's dual stories in it. But if you can't have them communicate because of the virus stuff, you know, where can you go? Especially as we've seen a still from this first episode of them at a space station that's implied to be Starfleet. Like,
and Aaron, you know. Aaron, this is a 2 exclamation point statement. It says, many paths to time travel in Trek. So by the 2 exclamation points, I can conclude... No, I can't conclude anything.
You can confirm 3 Janeways. No, 4 evil Janeway.
And no sun slingshot. It's going to be some weird, like, nebula or anomaly or something. A temporal anomaly, if you will. There you go, Samuel.
I know all about that. Film. Woo! Trekyards.
Throws Protostar back.
Star Trek / Temporal Anomaly. Search it. Search it. Yes. Yes, Jellicoe. My goodness, that's going to be so fun. I mean, he might be an absolute
yes,
dick, but that's the best choice. Because it's true.
Well, now he's an admiral, so he can be a dick.
Because Janeway is such a powerhouse of an officer that, I mean, if you're going to go, let's have fun with it, you'll instantly buy Jellicoe is more powerful. Like, yep. Answered. I mean, it's not even a... which is hard to do. I want a good actor as well. I wonder how old he's going to sound, because he's pretty old now.
Yeah, he is.
What's his name?
Ronnie Cox.
Yeah.
COX.
84.
Holy shit.
How, Patrick... I think he's younger than Patrick Stewart, just... No, he's 2 years older than Patrick Stewart. So let's hope his voice isn't on the croaks.
Aaron says Ronnie Cox still has it, I will say.
God, I hope he's in, like, 5 and he's just... Oh, you can have so much fun with that. And his new flagship, the Lollipop. Because you think it's going to be a pushover ship, and then you turn on the view screen, and there's Ronnie Cox. It's like, oh no, you subverted my expectations. Yeah.
His age only makes him more curmudgeon-y, like a fine wine. Oh, much like myself. Every day I get harder to deal with, Samuel can tell you.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on.
Goodness.
Jellicoe had more time, could have gelled more with the D crew. Oh, yeah, absolutely. He would have been... He's a good captain. But he was there for a job and a purpose, and he had to get things done. He wanted it done his way. That's all it was.
That's true. He would like the D. He would like the D if he stayed there longer. He would have embraced the D and everything it had to offer.
Yeah, it was just coming off the V, and you know, that's a transition. That was too much.
Well, when that D's so big, I mean, he's using a smaller ship, not that big a D. He has to come on. He has to take hold of that D, that Enterprise D, and control it to save the day.
And a 4-shift rotation. Because karmic.
And he did come in and grab the D by the throat.
By the Rikers.
And he pulled that D right into place so he could work it harder than ever to make the mission go well. You know.
Paul B says, "Give me the plot in 3 sentences for the first half of season 1."
Good luck.
Escape miners find a derelict Starfleet vessel. Escape their enslavement and proceed to learn about Starfleet and the Federation. And then what's the last sentence? Need to escape from the diviner who's been hunting them and find out that they're more Starfleet than thieves. There you go. I don't know. It's probably a more eloquent way of doing that, but that was on the spot. So.
General Grievous tries to kill kids. That's the summary.
General Grievous from the planet Cybertron.
Uses, yeah, goddamn. My real summary, I guess, would be a time-traveling menace hell-bent on revenge / justice. Is fought by some kids who have big hearts, big journeys, and a powerful new ship.
And a Murph.
And a Murph. That may or may not be from the future, it may or may not be too powerful, and there is a plan. Thanks, Paul. Some spoilers in there, but it's such an interesting plot that it's dense.
Yeah. 3 sentences is kind of rough.
Because it's the actual summary, really, like if you want to go very basic, the original one is, 4 kids steal a ship and go across the galaxy, and that's not a good summary at all.
Learn about themselves and Starfleet.
Still not a good summary. It's better, that's better, but still not. Like the
and
other
get
stuff,
hunted by a maniacal madman who thinks he's searching for justice.
See, now you're adding details, but the initial, like the
I'm doing the synopsis on the back of the VHS tape that they'd read on Red Letter Media.
And they eat pizza rolls for dinner. The end.
Movies can suck my ass.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I keep waiting for them to make more stuff so I can watch it as well. Make stuff faster.
I'm going back rewatching all their best of the worst. Seeing the destruction of the wheel.
Wheels.
Yeah, exactly. And then the birth of the new wheel, and then the Funketo board. So yeah, I love Red Letter Media. It's good to put on and just kind of mess around on your phone if you've watched them before. Like you're hanging out with these guys. So.
No, it's fantastic second monitor because the jokes often hit 7th time. They still hit. Yeah. So you and especially the absurdity of some of the things. Like, how many times can you watch Shoji Tabuchi's 4-hour matinee and hear them complain that he appears, and then that final moment he actually comes on stage, everyone's so excited, and there's a guy with a violin. Like, it's a good payoff every damn time. I'll say that. And yes, I know all that shit just going in. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now I
Right,
want to ask the audience, and I guess Aaron can answer too if he wants to, but it's a bit of a self-fulfilling question.
Might not be here anymore. He's
working. What are you guys most interested in seeing from Prodigy? What are you most looking forward to seeing out of the show? You know, we've been talking about all the stuff here, but what are you interested to see?
Let us know, guys. Super chat in. I still want to get 50 likes. We still need 11 more likes, so hit that like button.
Oh, yeah.
No new members, so consider clicking the join button at least. And we're still quite a ways away from our minimum. We're almost at half of our minimum, so that's great. So keep the super chats coming. We want to talk about any questions or anything you noticed about the first 10 episodes of Season 1 of Prodigy. Let us know. Anything you want us to talk about, super chat us. Do it. Trekyards says, I am most looking forward to seeing more Star Trek. Ozzy says, Janeway versus Janeway. And not in a physical fight. I mean, like, mentally, those two going at it would be good. Because Janeway. Aaron says, I want to see a spiritual successor to a piece of the action. And we do. With the...
What a cheeky reply. That's great.
Which I can't do. There we go.
Yeah, oh man, that was don't know if you actually watched our review, but that was good.
Yeah,
That was good.
Jasper Jedi says, honestly, more legacy Voyager characters.
Yes.
Interested in Chakotay and the Janeway branch. Yes. Just as soon as we see Chakotay, I'm going to be like, oh, here we go. We're going to learn some stuff.
I mean, you don't want to have a Voyager reunion, but it would be nice if every season they add a new Voyager legacy into the mix. Because, you know, you can finally finish the joke with Kim. You know, now he's a captain, or second in command of the Rhode Island. That's fair enough.
CNC of Starfleet, or above Janeway.
or he's CNC Jellicoe's assistant. It's a promotion to assistant. Because that's almost one of the things that Trekyards has been wanting for 20 years, is like just the idea of where Kim went. You know, you can assume Paris did great and B'Elanna did great, but Kim, it's like that's. But then he couldn't use the joke anymore. But it's such like a yes, have Captain Kim or Commander Kim pop in. Yeah, it's you know. Because every single character in Voyager has a specific skill set. You know, like it's harder to get Marina Sirtis's Troy and stuff, and even her bit with Reg, like a lot of it is other stuff, which is fine.
Aaron Walke let something slip. He says, "Oh, you mean Fleet Admiral Kim?" Dun dun dun. Spoilers. No, just kidding.
Jesus. Yeah. Because, you know, Voyager became a family. I mean, they all did to an extent, but you want to know where they went. And not just in a book. And, you know, I trust the Rise of Prodigy more than Rise of Picard, or at least Picard's 1 and 2. You know, they killed Icheb. You guys would have had him be a nice guy alive somewhere. Alive. If only. I guess they could show Icheb. You could get Marnie back and show a pre-dead Icheb. And, Stuart! Stuart! Just going to pitch to you right now, Aaron. Write a scene where somebody says that Icheb got transporter cloned. So only one Icheb got murdered by Seven. It's a fix right there! What do you think, Stuart?
Sure.
Because that's easy.
Transporter clones for everybody.
Yeah. Every show gets one.
You get a transporter clone.
Every show gets one. Although Voyager also got, you know, a alternate reality clone
and Matt's like, at Aaron. I mean, I think Harry has earned that at some point, right? Well, he did die, so yeah, yeah. I think he's earned Fleet Admiralty.
I don't, but definitely a good rank. Yeah, I mean they should all get a nice promotion when they come back. Many promotions, not for all, but for many.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's exciting. There's all the possibilities, you know.
That's the thing. I mean, the Prodigy's done such a great job, and there's so much potential going forward. And we know they have 40 episodes planned, so who knows what they've got up their sleeve. I'm just excited to find out. I'm along for the ride, man.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron says he's joined Section 31, conscripted by a very old Admiral Tucker.
My goodness. Okay.
Raptor, Cadet Kim. Yeah, he's been demoted to Cadet. He's got to go back to Starfleet. That's just mean. Civilian Kim. What?
President. He came back, flunked out of Starfleet, and then went round for president and said, I am the only one in the galaxy that survived a species 8472 assimilation.
I can show Starfleet's corruption. I didn't get promoted once in 7 years in the Delta Quadrant, and I died. Come on now.
Well,
Yay, let's vote for him.
Yeah, well, yeah, he died and then was a different version of himself. But
yes.
Why would he have been promoted? There's no rank spots to be promoted.
I know. That's the explanation. I don't buy it for a second.
Why not?
Here, Tom, you're promoted. You're demoted. You're promoted again.
Yeah, but he's only a pilot. There's no
He's
operations. Yeah, operations has lots of things you could do.
Well, kill people. A lot of people died. Fill those spaces. Come on.
Died. And Equinox fed them anyway. They actually had more crew by the end than they left, which is as stupid as that is. And obviously they had kids, but they actually had I think they had like 13 Equinox people left. I think they lost 7 by that point, and they ended up with like 2 more people than they left with. Oh, but then you include like Chakotay's crew, and it's like 30 more or 20 more.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, SPS Guru 2000 throws in €5. Kim's Kobali clone got promoted to Admiral. Original Kim is still an ensign.
Yes. I like the Star Trek Online thing. That's good.
Kobali clone. Yeah, man.
That's a good story. That was a good Star Trek Online story.
Don't know if I've played that one.
It was ages ago. I believe this is like first in the game. And it was like a 2-week special to play like 3 times.
So I just don't remember then.
Yeah, it was ages ago. And it was fun because you got to play Harry Kim on Voyager when he got... Because in the scene where he gets pulled out and freezes to death, he gets picked up the Kobali, and so you get to see a Kobali version of him, real him, and the Rhode Island as well. They gave him full Rhode Island, which was lovely.
Aaron says maybe each went down to the Demon Planet in his spare time and forgot about it.
God, that Demon second part is so sad. My God.
It's such a good episode, though.
I mean, Voyager has some just A stars. That's a sci-fi concept. It would have been entirely impossible for like TNG to do a melting ship. Like they wouldn't have had the effects budget for that. And Void does late Voyage, they could do it. But that is such a good episode.
I love how Voyager arrives just to see the blobs.
Oh, just because. Oh, it's so sad. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Even Neelix got promoted to ambassador.
What was that really promotion? It's like a side promotion. You don't get more pay.
Yeah.
No, but what I like about this Prodigy conceiving stuff is that even though we've had a pretty full trailer, you know, unlike other trailers where it feels like it's the first 2 episodes, this feels like that's a good sample size from the season, which is an unusual feeling. But you would not have been able to predict even the first half of season 1 from the first episode. And same thing with the second half of the first season with the end. It had lovely curveballs that maybe you could have predicted Zero could have made someone go crazy, maybe, but just, you know. So even guessing where we're going is going to be very tricky to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because either...
We should go back and watch our speculations on stuff. That could be hilarious.
Yeah, 100%. Because, like I said, the Diviner is mad. Is he going to come back? Is that important? I would assume, personally, if I was making a guess, that by episode, like, 7, when, I guess, Gwen or whoever remembers the truth, they have to go back and grab him. That's my assumption. He's being left alive to be used later, and they have to work out a way to unmad him, because he has knowledge that they need to save something. My assumption is that's narratively how that would play out.
Or, like you said, they're going to run into a ship, and on screen it's going to be the Diviner. It's going to be like, what the hell? And it turns out it's one of the clone.
Yeah. And then almost you've got the idea of having them have to go back and deal with, cause especially if the Diviners are, like, assume they're clones, whatever. Like, that's a big assumption, but maybe if he pops out, like, he's only been in our quadrant for like a week, and he's like true vengeance, because you'd imagine after 17 years our Diviner got a little bit more lax with it. Wasn't quite as mad. And he loved Gwen like a daughter, for realsies. That was a real connection. So you imagine a version of the Diviner without any of those better traits, which will then mean that we all thought Diviner was pretty cool first season. It was an effective villain. So to show a pure version without any of those other things, you know, coming at it would be cool. And then you can go back to our Diviner and say, hey, your brother's back. My brother? Yeah, he's real mad. Help. But I want my Rev 12. Yeah, no, we gave that to the slaves. Damn it.
But he's got the Rev 8. He's Diviner 8.
Yes. He has Rev 2. It was the Rev dash A. The bastard went A. But you know what I mean? Like, that makes thematic sense to bring him back, to make him less mad, to help them, because he has all the knowledge. And maybe actually, it might be as simple as he knows where Chakotay is. And there's a moment of one of the, or two of the Janeway saying, well, we need to find Chakotay. I don't know where he is, but he does. I mean, that'd be an easy reveal element. And then you could offer his freedom for the knowledge, I suppose, would be the obvious line. Yeah.
Well, I'll be interested to find out where Chakotay's been this whole time. So.
Yeah.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €10. Thank you so much. Would have been great if at least one Voyager crew member had survived the reset button at the end of Year of Hell. Imagine Kim suddenly becoming his grizzled war veteran. Yes, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Story on the new Dauntless. Still going back to when we asked everybody. Oh.
Yeah. Yes, more Dauntless, please. Although wouldn't it be interesting if they end up having to go to the Krenim homeworld and they meet the good version of Anorak? I mean, they can get the actor back. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, have them say, bitches, leave.
And then, you dumbass. You dumbass bitches, leave.
Yeah. Oh.
But I mean, that would be a really, really good story to tell, because you've got all that possible temporal tech you could pull from, like, the idea of, well, if they developed it once, they could do it again. I mean, they developed a humongous ship, but that ship is damn big. You know, yeah.
Lots of storytelling potential, and honestly, Prodigy's already brought in lots of really cool elements, and they're all canon accurate, so I'm looking forward to more. By all means. And more ships, guys. I don't know if Aaron's still here, but I want to see more ships. I want to see some new Starfleet stuff. Yes, let's revisit some favorites. Let's see the Lost City ship. Let's see some stuff from the Delta Quadrant. I'm down. Already seen Kazon. We've seen Ferengi. Seen a Bird of Prey. Multiple Bird of Preys. So, or just do holodeck programs. See more of the Enterprise D, or go on the TOS Enterprise. Learn their history. Do have a Starfleet history course, and they're like on the bridge of the TOS Enterprise at the start of an episode. That'd be cool.
Actually, you might just, because I've been saying this to you for 2 years now. Who's going to be the first show to actually show a classic Connie in action and the sets. We've seen the uniforms and now the props, but there might be a flashback now in Prodigy of the 2S Connie before it either crashes, lands, or makes first contact with this new ship, this new planet. So we might get to see a scene on a corridor, say, and it'll look identical. God, that's...
Fingers crossed.
And it's not like that. Not like they're hard sets to build. Like digitally, they're very simple. We've done them. They're not hard.
Aaron says Dr. Noom, played by Jason Alexander, is fantastic. Think tank. He makes a good Tellarite. Oh, Tellarite. As you might imagine, quite the bedside manner. Yeah, he was in the Voyager episode Think Tank, and I forgot it was Jason Alexander.
And that's part in Think Tank is such unlike him as well. It was not a role of typecast. I mean, I never saw him in. It wasn't Fraser. It was the other one. What was he in?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. I've never seen Seinfeld because it's an American show, and it was before the internet. It definitely wasn't over here. By way it being.
Yeah.
I don't even think we necessarily saw Friends. They only saw Friends after. But Friends was bigger than Seinfeld because it was later, so it could go here. Yeah.
Dan says, will there be more references to Discovery? There's only been one so far, and that's seeing the Crossfield class in that lineup of ships.
Should have been Discovery Alpha. Then you could have got away with it.
You done fucked up, guys.
They're trying to be good, but it's a whole video on that.
At least the Enterprise or the Constitution class was correct. It wasn't the Strange New Worlds one. So, and really, if the Crossfield exists, that the Strange New Worlds Enterprise should also be there because it's the Disco Prize. So, yeah, weirdness. SBS Guru 2000, 10 euros. Anarax was lucky that the destruction of his time ship only erased his time ship and not everyone else aboard. Imagine if Beltran and McNeil had been fired because they forgot to change the script. No more Chakotay, no more Paris for you. TOS earpiece in the Prodigy game. Yep, there's also one right here. And I unlocked it too, so... There we go. Yes, and there's a Geordie visor. There's the Red Angel wings. Come on, what? I don't want to unlock those. Tell me what level they're on so I can avoid those collectibles. Anyway.
Yeah, why doesn't the Prodigy team just rebuild a Red Angel suit? They could fly anywhere in time and space.
And it's easy to make, apparently.
Oh, it takes about 2 hours with just normal ship components.
But you need time crystals, though.
You do.
So.
No, you don't. No.
I thought you did.
No, time crystal's the other thing. You need the power of the supernova to pull into a... Oh, was that how?
No, I think the time crystal is needed for the suit to function, and the one was damaged, so they had to go to another one, and that's why Pike had to go to the...
So that way it wasn't... Oh, isn't... Yeah, I was thinking it was just the vision for a second. No, you're right. They had to... Okay.
Yeah.
But we know where to get them. I mean, they can just proto-warp into the center of Kronos, steal... No, Borath, steal the time crystal.
But you can't take a time crystal without seeing your fate.
Yes. Just have Murph do it. Let me see a shot of like Murph be like a 50-foot giant.
Murph just floating in space, grabbing a galaxy, another galaxy.
And it's like, did Murph get big or the galaxy get small? You'll find out in season 12.
Judging by how much he eats and what everything he eats so far, I mean,
hey, that's great.
Assume he's getting big.
Wouldn't it be great though if he ends up being the Great Koala, like Murph evolves into the celestial universe being, or he's in the Great Koala?
No, I don't like the Great Koala. I don't like the idea. It's stupid.
Okay, what if he's the Great Koala's son? He's like the Jesus figure. The Great Koala sent Murph to go and explore the universe.
I quit. I quit Trekyards. I quit YouTube. I quit the internet.
All hail the Great Koala!
Oh, good God. Anyway, let's get 6 more likes if we can, guys.
Yes.
And at least another $30 would be awesome.
Yeah.
It's almost to our minimum, but So another $30 would be awesome, and another 6 likes, please. And yeah, anything else you guys want us to talk about in the first 10 episodes of Prodigy? Let us know, and we love having these discussions. So Dan says, "Can someone please explain the koala thing to me? People just give a joke answer and don't say anything." Have you been watching Lower Decks? If you watch Lower Decks, you'd know all about the Great Koala. The Great Koala is in every episode this season.
Yep. Every single episode. He is always there.
And he was mentioned in one of the episodes as well. Again.
Several.
So, yeah. Go watch Lower Decks. You'll understand the Great Koala. It's the answer to everything. I think he lives on Black Mountain, by the way.
Yeah.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €10. The Great Koala is probably just Q messing with people during near-death experiences. His second-class tapestry treatment for people who aren't Picard. I mean, hey, anything's possible.
No.
Dan says, yes, but I don't remember the mention, and then people just keep telling me to remember the mention, and it's not helpful. There's a whole episode about the guy that's trying to be transcendent, and the truth is the Great Koala.
So Dan, basically...
But Samuel worships the Great Koala. He's got a shrine to him in that room, so he'll fill you in.
Little real koala I can pet.
And there's bamboo and a whole bunch of stuff.
The great bamboo. Yes, the Great Koala is a being outside time and space that is I think they say the entire world sits on his like toe or something silly, but he is the universe. The universe is him. Think kind of like the old the universe on the back of a turtle vibe. And they see the Great Koala several times, people, through extraordinary circumstances, and it breaks them for a few minutes because they're seeing the face of the universe. And the guy that did transcend, he said, "I see a koala, why is he smiling?" And that's the great secret of the universe. Why is the koala that controls the universe smiling? And then there's several people in the universe that also have seen the koala and who can mention him, and is in the title sequence of Lower Decks as a dust cloud. So he's actually there outside of the context of the show, inside the context of the pre-title sequence, the universe of the show for the Paramount streaming network. It's great. I love it.
Samuel's all about it, and I'm like, yeah.
So I think Murph being the Jesus son of the Great Koala is a good storyline. Every season it gets more koala-like. Can you imagine if it becomes just a purple koala by the end? Like a tall koala.
And then starts eating galaxies because he's the Great Koala.
Oh, he's the villain of season 12. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. If I say it with confidence, Stuart, someone will believe me that it makes sense. That's my strategy, I'm sticking to it. No, but it's so much that could happen. But also they are quite... they know when to pay off versus when to set up, in that they gave us, oh my goodness, the amazing holodeck episode of Here's All the People We Know, but that was earned after some episodes, so we're going to get stuff like that, but real episodes as well. So
yeah, there needs to be more holodeckery and revisit Starfleet past. That's what I think. SVS Guru 2005 euros. It'll turn out the Great Koala is evil and is revealed to be the Great Drop Bear. Drop bears are what koalas are called in Australia. All right, $8 away, guys. I think we're kind of running out of steam and things to talk about. But it was a really great discussion. Especially having Aaron here, which is amazing. Thank you so much for stopping by, Aaron.
No spoilers given, but some context.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I'd recommend, like we've done before, Stuart, if we Lower Decks first, do the filming, watch Prodigy, do the review, because I know we've done it several times now, and one always out-enthuses the other. And it's hard to think of both full stories, so if we both watch one, I'll do prep for Lower Decks, that'll be obviously some ships and stuff. Then we go off and watch Prodigy at the same time, and come back and do that review, and then we can...
Yeah. And the Friday one will probably be the wrap up of Lord X, and then Monday we'll do the review of Prodigy, and then Prodigy will become Friday's reviews.
Yeah, we tend to say whichever's better, because Picard took over because it's so much better than Lower Decks Discovery was. But who's to say? You know.
We'll make that determination tomorrow and let you guys know so you know what's going on Friday.
Yeah, but I assume you'd get both. Well, no, I don't even know that. We'll know tomorrow.
Because we don't know anything half the time.
And knowing is half the battle, and so we can't even fight the battle.
I've been told that. I've heard that knowing is half the battle.
But no, thanks for Aaron for popping by, hang out with some of your hardcorest of Trek fans in general.
Not just us, but our audience as well.
That's what I mean. And the poll, though, 70 votes. Prodigy is a 44% great Trek, 34% good Trek, and only 12% okay Trek. And I would call that a pretty good ratio. No one's going to call it bad Trek. It's not bad Trek. And it's the sort of show that builds on itself, so it can only get... Better is the wrong word, because it'll only get more dense and interesting. You know?
Yeah, I'm just wondering where it's going to go though, because once they join Starfleet, they won't be their ship anymore. Like, so it's interesting to kind of speculate about the future.
Because they can't practically do 30 episodes of them just running around being kids. That won't necessarily get tiresome, but thematically they've thrown Starfleet in the deep end so early, and Chakotay's being a tease. Yeah, we're both disappointed he's in none of season 1. The first chunk, like really. So, but once he's on the ship, he's either on the ship and will take over the ship, or he's on the Dauntless with Janeway and then they're just chasing. You can't cat and mouse for 30 episodes. You just can't thematically. So they've got to evolve it. You know, they've got to take it from place to place.
We get another $8. One $10 super chat would be amazing right now. Just send out.
Yes.
That'd be a fantastic number. And 2 more likes, guys. Still waiting on 2 likes. Honestly, okay, this is probably a good poll to put up. Here, let me put this poll up. Real quick poll, and jump on it right away.
And in the meantime, I will say I am, as you guys know, I launched Indiegogo for my next set of Trek films. Very recently, Trek Shorts by Fans for Fans 2022. We're raising money for a whole plethora of new short films from all across the universe, new and old Trek. The Indiegogo shows a huge variety of stuff, from TNG to Voyager to TOS to all this cool stuff.
Check out the Indiegogo and the video. It's amazing. I loved it.
Thank you. Yes, it gets you in the mood, doesn't it? It like zazzes you up.
Mood for something, yeah.
Because it's like 17 months of constant work, and I'm so proud of our interior artists who helped build all the sets, and then more people built 3D models since I started, so there's even more options and such. We're currently £3,000 of 31, so just under 10%. A long way to go, but I'm going to be announcing stuff as we go. But certainly, you know that your funds will be well spent. I've even got de-aging, as crazy as that is. So you'll see people, and it is funny. I had because I can say that we had our first doc come out this last week, the Battle of Velsac 2, and we've got our computer voice to be our narrator called Catherine Archer, and we filmed 2 docs with her on Monday. She lives she's moved house, and now she's really far away. It's gonna make it quite difficult, but okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So I had to record 2, and I forgot you're in one. You've got a huge part in one. I entirely forgot. I was like, oh, it's Captain Foley. Shit, that's cool. Like as a Captain Foley. I was very happy with that because I entirely forgot.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now. What happened?
Yeah.
I remember that one. Yeah.
The one with the game reference.
Okay, now I don't remember.
Yep. You're not the alien, because you're not your alternate universe self. You're a canon version of the self, but not from...
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of, but I don't know where game comes into that.
Because the thing that they do the thing is from the game.
See, now I don't remember what. Okay, let me tell you later. All right,
I'll
one
tell
more
you,
like,
I'll tell you on chat.
one more like, and $8 more or $10 would be awesome, guys. And there is a new poll up. The new poll is, and I know it's not fair, but that's the point. Are you more excited for Lower Decks finale or for the return of Prodigy? And unfortunately, Lower Decks is kicking ass with 75%, but only 12 votes. So, guys, go vote in the poll. And I know everybody likes both shows, but I wasn't going to put that as an option. I want to cut and dried. Like, if you could only pick one, if your life depended on only watching one episode of Star Trek this Thursday, what would it be? So, go vote. I like having 2 episodes of Star Trek on the same day. So do I. So do I, but I also don't because it means more work for us.
Yes.
But it's always good to have more Trek. More Trek is better than no Trek.
Alright, send you what the film was on Facebook.
Okay. SBS Guru 2000, €10.
Thank
Shout out to Tom Paris, ace pilot, commando, nurse, off-time engineer, and probably more. The MVP of Voyager. And designer, yeah.
And designer. Well. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, if you can support, please do. We really need the funds, and we'll make a lot of use of the funds. It isn't a case of the more we get, the more we'll make. It's a case of we actually need this money to finish it, because we need this money. Things cost a lot of money. Hotels, bloody expensive. You know, we paid like $850 for a weekend of hotels a month or 2 ago. That's what it costs. Yeah. And I only earn so much in a month. And it's very close to what Stuart earns because we have the same income, same income source. And so, putting out $600 for one weekend is like, you can only do that a couple of times, and then it's like, well, shit. So, Stuart, what was the Ascended film? Is that the one you were thinking of?
Nope. First time hearing about this one.
No, it's not, because I signed you up already for it. I did talk to you about it.
What? I don't remember, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I was thinking of the other one with somebody else that you might be related to.
Okay, you type what that was.
Really?
Well, yeah, I don't remember. But this is cool. I haven't done anything except I filmed the whole damn thing, which is funny. But I don't remember. I haven't done any of the CG for it, which is unusual for me. It's quite a dense sort of film. There's a lot of I've got someone to design the vortex for me, which I'm not thrilled about because it's quite a specific effect. But if
there you go.
Okay.
Your message.
Okay.
We hit our 50 likes.
Yeah, that's
and we
the
did get
alternate
that
universe one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the
it was an alternate universe one.
Well, yeah, because I'm in it not as my character, so it's got to be not canon. Like Mark is in it as a different character. That's the non. To allow us to all meet, it had to be not canon. So.
I was hoping I was going to be in 2 for a minute there, and just dashed.
So you're in 2 different alternate universes, which is funny. 2 different captions.
All right, 50 likes. We hit our super chat goal ish. But anyway, thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thanks so much.
Go check out his Indiegogo. It's real worth it.
And I'm sure I'll do a live next week talking about it. I can reveal some stuff. Those went super well last time because I could just talk about stuff.
We should do a live with Matt joining us so that he can talk about some of the stuff he's done on it. Matt, if you're there, there you go.
That's a good one, yeah. Because, what's it like to Texture? Because he wasn't on the project last time. I don't know. Probably, but not much. That's the advantage of being working on it for like 18 months, is that even if a high quality mold takes 2 months, 3 months, we've had lots of months. So things have been made that you can talk about.
Plus, then you all will see what Matt Boardman looks like. And so you know when he's chat, moderator, you know who it is.
They'll be like, he's too handsome, he should replace one of us.
It should just be full screen. We'll just be voices. I would say put us in the small boxes and put him in the main box.
Well, with the ship he's talking about, because he's talking about a thing he's done. Yeah, sounds good.
Anyway, on that note. We will talk to you guys soon. It's gonna be a busy day for us tomorrow, but stay tuned and we'll have some good stuff for you guys. So until then, he is Commander Cockings.
He's got a Foley.
And
bye guys.
Sorry, I should probably do this. Do this with one hand. I was gonna say live long and prosper, everybody. I can't do that new Vulcan salute thing. It's stupid. There you go.